and welcome to the Jamaica Diaspora Show. Today, I have a few guests, but I have a special guest here today. It's Euyald Clarke. Mr. Clarke is, I want to say, a pioneer as far as his arrival in the United States from Jamaica. I'm going to ask each one of my guests to introduce themselves. This is Mr. Clarke, but let me please first introduce
Lance Locke Gordon, and I'm a friend of Mr. Clarke by way of my father. They both came to the United States on a ship called USS Shanker in 1943. He's going to tell you a story about the journey. And I'm a son of one of the original founders of the West Indian Club, Social Club.
And you're also the author of an article about Mr. Clarke that brought Mr. Clarke to our attention.
Well, actually, two articles.
Two articles?
Yeah, one I we did in 2012, and one we featured him a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So you made the front page of both my articles.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, it's an interesting journey he's going to talk about, and we can share it with him. And I'm just proud to be on your show, by the way. You've done a great job with the diaspora.
Thank you.
And I'm kind of privileged to be here.
Thank you.
So we'll have a nice conversation. And I think he's going to tell the journey. And I'm not going to talk about Keith, but Keith was a friend of mine too, who can often give authenticity, because he was there too.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mr. Tinker, could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Keith Tinker, who came to the United States in August 10th of 1962. After the just about the independence time, I went to school at Hartford State Tech, and continues to live there since then. It's approximately 60 years.
Now you're also you own a realty.
Yes, I own a real estate and insurance business. I owned it now 45 years this year.
45 years.
Yeah.
Now when did you come to Hartford?
62.
62. And where did you come from?
I came from Jamaica, came to my uncle Noel Tinker, who lived at Westland Street during that period of time.
Where in Jamaica?
St. Catherine.
St. Catherine?
Yeah, yeah.
St. Catherine, okay, all right.
San Diego de la Vega.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Clarke, you're the featured guest here today.
Yes.
And please tell us where you're from in Jamaica.
St. James, Montego Bay area.
St. James, Montego Bay.
Yeah.
Now, we're here to really talk about your journey.
My journey.
Your journey to the United States.
Yes.
But before we talk about the journey, I want to know about what life was like in Jamaica before you left.
Yes. Well, in Jamaica, before I came here, you have people in Jamaica, they do a lot of farming. They travel to Cuba, and from Cuba back to Jamaica. Because my father and my whole relative, they all go to Cuba, and they came back to Jamaica. And in Jamaica, they raise their own farm. They plant their own food. They do everything that is fresh. They eat everything fresh. They kill today, they eat today. They catch the fish today. So you have to eat 3 meals a day, which is hot meal.
I mean, but now you're from a family.
Yes.
You were 16 children, correct?
Well, my mother.
And where were you in the line?
No.
You the baby?
No.
Okay, all right.
I can give him. My dad, she said 16 she had, but she raised 11. My father died very early, 1936. He died. And my mother had to raise the 11. But I said, you know, they have a lot of cows, goat, and pig. They had to do their own farming in Jamaica. And I can give you all my sister's name. The first one is Melvina Clarke, Melissa Sydney, Euyald, Liebert, Rubian, Altiman, Selvin, Euyald, Etta, and Berlinda. That's all. And my father get one outside, which my mother raised. Simeon. Simeon born 1920. Sydney born 1919. Well, Nelissa and my older sister, that's Melvina. She died in Stratford at 96 years old.
When? How?
In Stratford.
Stratford.
She went to England and from England to United
Wow.
States. She died in Stratford.
So
Yes.
now where are you? I think, are you like the fourth?
The fourth.
Right.
Melvin and Elsa Sydney Euyald. So I'm the fourth one.
Altamont is when?
Huh?
Altamont? Was he?
So my mother.
No, Altamont, your brother?
Yes.
Altamont.
Altman is my brother.
Yeah, what number was he?
Okay. Sydney, Melvin and Elsa, Sydney, Euyald, Liebert, Altman, Selvin,
Number 6.
Euyaldine, Etta, and Berlinda.
By the way, that's my middle name, Altamont, in case nobody.
Oh,
I never
okay.
told anybody. Altamont is my middle name.
Altman?
Yes.
But Altman,
That's a
they
Jamaican
call
name.
they call Altman Robin Hood. He died in England in a car accident in Birmingham.
Okay.
Selvin died in England in Manchester. Liebert died in England in London.
Wow.
Sydney died in Jamaica. He was 90 when he died.
So you got longevity in the family.
Huh?
Longevity.
Oh,
You-
yes.
Good,
Oh, yes.
good seed.
Well, Hetta, Pastor Berlinda, this is the youngest one. She died in New York. She was a nurse at Portchester, Portchester, New York.
Yep. Yep. Where else I
I
can
think she had cancer, and she died. But she buried in Jamaica. Yes.
Now, how many went to
England.
England? How many went to
But
the U.S.?
Sydney went to England.
Right.
Liebert went to England. Selvin went to England. Altman went to England. Loretta Euyald, she went to England.
So,
6,
So, Euyald and I is the only one alive out the whole family. She is in Jamaica. She went to England, but she living in Jamaica now.
she?
Yes.
How old is she?
Oh, well. Well, she's a second to the...
So she's in Jamaica now?
Yes, she living in Jamaica.
How old is she?
About.
I can't even tell her who is it because
do
she's
that.
the third to the last. She's almost that because you have Euyald, which is Loretta, and Etta, and then Berlinda.
So she's the baby.
Yes, she's in Jamaica now, but she's
Yeah.
sickly now too. I went and buried my sister a couple years ago. She was 98 years old.
98.
98, but she never lose her sight. She no wear glass. And my cousin, this is two first cousin, she's 101 in Jamaica, and she look much younger than I am, because I went and buried my sister in
Right.
Jamaica.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, you got the it's the
Oh,
genes.
yes.
You got that the 90 club.
I guess I soon be 98 if life's spare. February
I
coming.
think you gonna be there.
Yeah.
Now, amazing. Now, you came to America in
Yes.
what year?
1943.
43.
Yes, 1943.
So what were you doing before that, and how old were you in
Well,
1943?
I was only 21, you see. I have to look after the goats and the pig and things like and the cow, you know, because my father took sick and he died. So we still raise the cows, pig, goat and pig. So we have to look after those farms.
Those were the means of.
We have to look after those farms. And when they came to Jamaica to recruit men for America, I decided to come to America.
And you already had the farming skills. I guess everybody had the farming skills back there, you know.
So I decided to come to America. So in 1940, between the United States government and because in 1940, they're taking men to Panama to go and work on Panama Canal.
Right.
So a lot of Jamaican Mason, Sidney Barnett, he went to Panama
First.
and then to the United States. Yeah. So they went. I didn't want to go to Panama. I go and take the test, but afterward they said no more.
Oh, okay.
They're taking capital, Mason, and labor right to Panama.
So that was in 1940. So it took you 3 years before you could. Was it? You said 43 that you came.
43 with the American.
Right. So you had to wait. You couldn't go to Panama.
No.
Okay.
I couldn't because they stopped taking men to
Right.
Panama. So I still plant corn, potato, this, do cultivating just the same with your hand.
All right.
Yes. And raise the animals in. Yes.
Well, okay.
So I decide now when I take to America, I say, I'm going to America. So
Mark,
I
the
start.
question I never asked him was, how did he hear about
Yeah.
the Yankees said, I heard that they said the Yankees were saying we need some help.
Huh?
How did you hear about the ship
America.
coming to
The ship.
Kingston Harbor? How did you hear about that?
But
Or
you
the-
see, after you go and they recruit you and test you, and then after you pass the test, they give you a number, which my number was 4811. Yes.
48, 11.
11.
What is that like?
That's my contract
That's his
number.
contract.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Contract number. So they said, go home, go get ready. They don't know what time they call you, baby. Next week, a month, but get ready. And they said by Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, Monday, they call. Said,
Okay.
so we have to, everybody have to.
So you only
Go.
had like a week?
Huh?
After you got your contract, you only had a week? And
Just
then-
a week.
So he
Just a
had
week.
to go from Montego Bay to Kingston Harbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you do that?
Yes, by train.
They
Oh,
train
they had
travel by
train. They had
train.
to train.
Train cross country.
It's a
train.
special train
Right.
take you
Okay.
to Kingston, Kingston Harbor. You have the train run daily, and the, what you call it, they run daily. But that was a special train for men that coming to America.
Okay. All right. You know, Mr. Clarke, I'm going to take a break right now.
Yeah.
And when we come back from the break, I want to talk about the trip, the
Yes.
journey. When you got on SS David C. Shanks,
Yeah.
that was the name of the
At the ship.
It's going to be right there on that wall, right there, right there. That was it.
And it was the first voyage to Jamaica.
Huh?
First voyage. It was a troop carrier ship. And it was the first voyage to Jamaica.
I hadn't gone to Jamaica prior to that time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break right now. In fact, we have a special treat for you. We have Miss Ann Margaret Lynn, who is a poetess from Jamaica, and who is well known to the Hartford community, particularly the West Indian Social Club. She came up here and she performed. Watch her video. We'll be right back.
Countryman. For Edwin Countryman Lawton, May 26, 1946 to September 18, 2016. Use me hero, Jamaican style. You never need another planet to come from. Superhuman speed, X-ray vision. You gave body to the climate of the island. Just living your life. The wind, the sea, even the earth defend you, as you say. I wrote it down. Your explanation that feels like a discussion Jesus and the disciples would have before a sermon. And when I see you and reason with you on the same Hellshire beach you live on for so long, I pinch myself on the inside. My superhero countryman in front me. In the space outside your house, synchroned from the rest of the beach in 2014, after Chick-V. Now, each time you step across my mind, I hear the whalers pass it on. And I see the big boat you run on the TV screen. I remember you, countryman.
And we're back with the special guests that we have today, and we are right now ready to talk about Mr. Clarke's journey to the United States. But during our break, Mr. Tinker was pointing out, you know, the importance of capturing this history. You want to?
Yeah, as I look back at the West Indian participation in the U.S. journey, which was introduced due to World War II and there beyond. Even then and before, there were Jamaican students who came in to do medicine and other forms of education. But the greatest contribution, I think, took place as of World War II and beyond.
Mm. What? Yes, okay. And that's during the void period.
Void period. And as I look now, in my 60 years of the Northeast region, I see the population on the cultural adaptation or cultural changes between Florida and Maine. Mm-hmm. They have contributed in many, many ways, culturally, economically, educationally.
You talk about Florida.
Is that the? Well, let's talk about the trip.
Yeah, but before, I think you made a good point, and I want to bring out four salient issues, okay, that are real time.
Okay.
When the Jamaicans came here, West Indians, 1943, we were about to go to war, like you said, Keith, World War II. Okay?
The war was already on.
The war was
already on.
Yeah,
the void existed to support the war. They needed people to provide food, clothes, to do the work that the American male was fighting abroad. Yeah. And the void existed. And to fill that void, they went to the British territories to recruit to fill those voids.
Yeah, under agreements, but there were two agreements. Actually, there were three.
The agreements was not made with Jamaica. It was made with the British government.
The West Indies.
With the British government.
Yeah, between actually.
They were British subjects.
Yeah, it was made between.
Right.
No,
between,
it was British subjects.
Between United States and Great Britain.
Great Britain.
Yeah, they had it 1942.
Yes.
That's what started. Okay.
Yeah.
But the point I want to emphasize, to your point, Keith, is basically like you said. Okay, most of the men here went to war. They were in the war, right?
Yes.
Now, bear in mind, we were just rebounding from depression. Agriculture was just beginning to go up. Now, there's nobody to continue agriculture. because we're in the war. So guys like Euyald came in, he filled the void in farming. Also,
Tobacco.
yeah. Also, you have to make weapons. They came to make weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, but bear in mind, they really immensely helped the economy to get to where it was, and we're not filling that void and rebounding from the depression right on time. The question is, where would we have been? I think, and you have to emphasize that the West Indies made it happen. The outcome was positive, but for. I just want to emphasize that point.
So
For
let's,
guys like you.
Yeah.
so Mr. Clarke,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. Mr. Clarke, so tell us this journey. I mean, okay, take us on a trip.
The
to-
journey from the time I leave Jamaica.
Yes.
From the 7th of May, 1943.
Okay. May 7th, 1943.
There was one man from Hanover that jumped overboard, kill himself
I heard about that.
on that voyage.
In the-
Yes.
But you knew this guy too, right? You
Huh?
saw it happen. You knew the guy. Was it on board?
On the board, it jumped over.
On top board, right?
Yeah. I didn't see it because I don't. He was.
Okay, you heard about it, right?
I know about it.
Yeah.
He jumped overboard. He couldn't. We call it. I call it. We call it shrunk. Well, you see, you have to know smoking because German was sinking all the ship them
The
there.
German U-boats.
Yes.
The German was
Right.
sinking.
So, but why did he jump?
Yeah.
Why did he jump overboard?
Well, we call it the starvation boat.
You were not well fed.
I get to understand the ship did come for 2,000, and it's 4,200 Jamaican come on it.
Yeah,
You
capacity.
line up for food and you can get the dinner, meat, everything in one.
So
And then the ship was leaking. It
So-
was leaking. You went down the mess hall, water down here. Sometimes I go down, I have to take off my shoe to go down. Yes, it was leaking.
that was a United States Navy
Yeah.
vessel, correct?
So if the Navy,
No, I'm saying-
we travel with the Zeppelin overboard and warship to convoy the boat.
So the conditions were
Well,
not
not good.
good, not.
No,
a
because you
bit-
said,
How about sleeping?
Oh, you-
I mean,
sleeping, well, you have the bunk here, sleep on top of the sleeping was all right.
There was
We
enough,
didn't mind about the sleeping now.
was
We
not
didn't
enough
mind
food.
about nothing.
not enough food.
Huh?
Was not enough
Yeah,
food.
you get food. They did lot of scrambled egg, which Jamaica called it ship hockey. Because hockey is a food from Jamaica. So when you go down with these scrambled egg, you say this is ship hockey. Then I say scrambled egg. But sometimes I go down, I bread in my pocket, I come up, I hand it to somebody. Because
Get extra
instead of that, I sometimes I make 2 bites down and come up, carry up something and get somebody there to eat.
well, okay. Here's something I want to
Yes.
know. Like, okay, so how were you, what was your anticipation? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? You're on the boat, you're coming to America. I mean, were you excited? I mean,
Well, I was
you know,
excited to leave, to come on. I was excited.
so even though you had to deal with these,
See, it didn't trouble me.
yeah.
It didn't trouble me. I was happy.
So
I was happy. It didn't trouble
You know
me.
what? Interesting
Yeah.
that
Nothing at all troubled
that
me.
he would have known was basically they had this big USS Janker, right? And they had what they called the German U-boats.
Yeah.
that's
followed
what I
it.
want to know
Yeah,
about
they
the
would
U-boats.
they would drive in packs of 10, 20. Anything they saw that wasn't German, bang.
Yeah.
I mean, they hit so many
So,
ships.
so did you experienced the German U-boats?
At New Orleans,
No, on the trip.
and
The U-boats, the boats, the Germans.
That's why they couldn't smoke, because if they
the
lit up
U-boats
a
that
cigarette, they would see it.
worship them that
Followed.
take what you call it there, the voyage to guide the voyage with all the men to come to this country. You have the Zeppelin over top, and you have the warship, them that search the sea. For sometimes you stop in mid-ocean and you don't see them. They gone out searching the sea. and afterwards the light flash before the ship moved.
Yes.
Stopping make ocean before it moved. They have to guide the ship. Well, there was another little tourist boat alongside the shank. At night, it draw close to the shank. I don't, maybe men was on it, I don't know. I don't know about the one that the 4,500 Jamaican that was on it. Yes. And it take 4 days. Monday, it take from the 7th of May to the 11th of May. And we get up the 12th at New Orleans.
So that, oh, okay. So it took like 5 days.
Friday morning, the ship pulled out.
Up the Gulf Coast.
Now, yeah.
Monday evening, we was up in the Mississippi. And we get up at New Orleans the 12th.
Well, okay. Now, on your trip, I want to know that, okay, there are some names here I recognize. Fitzroy Parkinson.
Parkinson.
Reginald Leslie.
Yeah.
Yes,
George Hudson.
I don't know. I know they came up 43, but I don't know if some of them was on that first boat.
Okay.
I know all of them because Patterson was a cook in Florida. He married to a nurse and came up here. And then he worked for Charles Cook. I know Patterson years ago. I know them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I know all those men. Leslie did have the story, drive the bus.
Yes.
He's from St. James too, but I don't know, I don't think he did come on the first voyage. But on the first voyage, there was a lot. They died now.
Yes.
A lot. That's right. So between, when we land at the airport, I know every day you have the religious people. You have the priests come and look for Catholic. So they came up looking for Catholic. I'm a Catholic. From 1939 till now.
Catholic.
Catholic in Jamaica. My father and mother was Baptist. Then before, after my father died, before my, and we moved to Catholic. Yes. So after the second voyage coming, they have to move you from the camp. So that's they move us all from that camp to go to the different place. So I go across Lake Pontchartrain by train, across the lake. And I go to Michigan, Saginaw. Saginaw, Michigan. And I stay in Michigan every day, rainfall, every day and rainfall. Till some of the men start to look work. I start to look work too. And I go to the factory, the Chevrolet factory, sign up all paper. But McDonald, which is the head, Herbert McDonald, when the paper go to, he never signed it because he said, we can't work there. Because, and afterward, they move us from there to Illinois. You go to Rochelle, Martin, so I go and work.
So they were trying to put you in the factories too?
No, not in the factory, just on the farm.
Oh, okay.
So I go and work for California Packing Company in Rochelle. You have the corn and you have the peas and you have at the Viner. And then I go down to the other place, Tassacan. So after we finish those now, they have to transfer us.
So how did they determine like where you were going and how like okay, there's 4,000 something people
Well,
on.
they all go to different places. Because the first voyage,
Did you get a choice as to where you wanted to go? Did you get a choice? I mean, did you was it like you're going here or did you have a did they give you
choice
to choose? Did
that
they allow
move
you?
us from here to Illinois.
So they didn't
Tell you the
You have so much group I meant to
that's right.
different places. But the group I was in, they moved us from to the different places. And the first voyage that came to Connecticut in 43, 1943, they come right to Connecticut. Lucian Vermont was the head of the Jamaican to come and work in Connecticut, 1943. Which we go to Michigan, some go to different place,
Right.
some go Wisconsin, different place where they transfer you to. But I go to
Yeah, because
Michigan.
Mark, my dad did the same thing. He first came to,
And then after we finish there, in Illinois, they have to transfer us again. It's 40 cents an hour I signed to come and work here because it was all cheap days.
But I just,
You signed the contract to come and work 40 cents an hour.
yeah, but so 40 cents?
40 cents an hour.
So that was pretty good money, huh?
prevailing rate.
Good money back then.
But,
It was.
But in those days it was big money because it's all cheap days.
but now, but I just don't understand how they moved you around like that. I mean, was it just like they keep you there for at
After
least
you finish
some,
the
how
crop.
much time? Oh, for the
After you
season.
finish the crop.
They move you seasonal.
Yeah, yes. So
Oh.
they move us from Michigan now. I go all the way through Canada, Toronto, and they take us to Caribou, Maine. I work for Ozzy and Son, pick up potato by
Potatoes.
the barrel. Ozzy and Son,
Yeah, potatoes, yeah.
because the winter coming on.
The
And
potatoes,
after, yeah. Yes, Ozzy and Son, they pick up potato by the barrel. Yes. And it, after now, it finished, it getting cold, and the camp manager told us, if you want to stay in this country, or if you want to go, the contract is here to sign, either to go back to Jamaica or to go to Florida, which is sugarcane chopping. And he said, in Jamaica, there's only a certain class of people in Jamaica chop sugarcane. And it was true.
Well, what percentage of people? Well, okay. Did a lot of people want to stay or go home? How was that feeling?
No.
Who wanted to stay? You know, like what was the feeling about staying
Well,
or going home? Or
Who want to go home? You have the contract. Either to, if God, the only one place is Florida. And the sugar cane is only sugar cane to chop in. If you don't want to sign, you don't sign it. You sign the paper to go home, or you sign the contract to go to Florida to work. So I signed that contract to go to work. So I go to Florida. I was in Kingston, Ritter Camp. That's where Patterson was working, Cook. It was segregation and lynching in those days.
well, tell me about that. I mean, you know, like what experiences did you have with racism? You know, at that time, did you have any?
Well, the experience, we only know that is segregation and lynching, so.
I mean,
you know,
was
because
you
we
have
don't
any-
have it in Jamaica.
No. There was the Jamaican population that was here subjected. Was there any experience among the Jamaican with lynching or any of that thing? Were they subjected to
well,
any of that?
with the lynch and segregation, you're ruled by the British government. The British government, they back you. Because there was a lot of things going on here, and they found out, they said, no, this is not Nick, they call the people here nigger. And they call Jamaica nigger, he will beat you, kill you. Negro is a race of people. Nigger is bad word.
Y'all knew that right away?
Yeah?
Y'all knew that right away? I remember I was reading, they gave you a handbook on how to, you know, how to get along. You know,
at
they
the
gave
camp.
you know, it had to
At
give you
the
some
camp.
kind of orientation training and, you know, how to.
No, but they didn't.
So, I mean, did you have any personal experiences of racism? That, you know, like where.
No, they said, don't care what, I'm a Roman Catholic, and anywhere a Roman Catholic, I go.
So how
I don't know nothing about the segregation and lynching. Because I deal with those girls from Florida work here, and they told us so. We was the first colored that ever worked with them.
That's what they said.
Because when they found out in Granby, they said their parents teach them in Florida to eat the Negroes, and they never talk to a black. So we was the first to talk with them and move with them and work with them. That's where Martin Luther King, we worked together in Granby. Martin Luther King, we worked together in Granby. And when they come and see we sit down with the girls and talk, they start far and look. And the girls could tell you that they are
American like.
because a Jamaican come right in where we wasn't. We eat together during the day with those girls.
And these are white girls.
And so, yes,
They were farm
and
workers, too.
Farm workers.
Yeah.
Silverad. I correspond with them when they go Florida.
Because there was the Morehouse.
Yes.
So see, King came up through Morehouse.
The Morehouse camp is in
So tell us about Martin Luther King.
Well, all of them a lot of them came up. Their camp was in Simsbury, which is called Morehouse Camp, because they are from Morehouse College in Georgia. But before that, I can give you the history of Florida, chopping the sugar cane. I work, because who don't want to chop the sugar cane, they must get $5 an hour or something. But I decided to chop the sugar cane. And one time the boss come and said, we make hundreds of dollars that week, so we're going to get hundreds of dollars. And the Christmas, when I get my envelope looking for $100, then I open it, 88 cents in the envelope.
Wow.
Send for all. I still chop the sugar cane.
So, did you ask for an explanation of where the money went?
They said when they take up, it's cane take up, but they don't know where the money. He said it take up, but they don't know where the And those who cannot cut the cane, they get hundreds of dollars. And the cane cutter, yes. Yet he had sent in me envelope that Christmas. And I still go and chop the sugar cane, work in the sugar cane. And after the crop finished there, then we transfer now to Connecticut to come work on the farm.
What year was that?
1944. When the circus burned down, I was here.
Oh, 1944.
When the circus burned
Whoa,
down,
yes,
I was
yes.
here.
Right, right.
1944.
Okay.
The train carried us right up, what's it, to Windsor Street. And all the farmer then come, American Smart, take their men. And Coleman Brothers, that's what I work with, Coleman Brothers. Edgar Coleman, they are all Jew.
I want to know how...
Is it all Jewish?
They are Jew. Most of the tobacco company, they are Jew.
Interesting.
Yeah, they are Jew.
I never saw it that way, but now Coleman, okay.
I want to know some of your, you're telling me about your work. What about the social life?
Social life?
Yeah, I mean, like for enjoyment.
Did you go out? Did you go out to any social event?
Social event.
Now you remember? Now, Mr. Hudson told me about the Sundowner. Was it the Sundowner?
Sundown Club?
Sundown Club. You remember that
That was
club?
down Windsor Street. You know, they
Mr.
have Cotton Club and they have Sundown.
Okay.
Yes, because they run the street number for the big men. You see the number where the government running here?
Yes.
At the same, because the street number, if you win the 3-digit number with a quarter, you get $12.50
They had
a quarter.
They had the numbers running.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So all those was down Windsor Street. The only place colored people was here is down Windsor Street. All this place was like palace. Was all Jew.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can give you the whole. We take the train, we take the truck. During winter, a truck was driving a come away road, 77 Commerce Street. All the warehouse was up here, The last warehouse closed is the one at bridge. And the one at the bridge up to St. Francis Hospital here. That's the last, at the bridge. If my truck down Windsor Street, men in the truck during winter, and the trailer could have saved it because he didn't know that it was men in the truck and hit the truck. Men was in the truck. You have a hard time during winter to come and work from Granby to here.
It's a warehouse in Hartford.
Wow.
Yeah, this is another article. It's in Hartford. It could have been
This way down.
Hartford warehouse, yeah.
At Artwell Street?
I'm not sure where about in Hartford.
Yeah. But is it tobacco?
Yeah.
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 No, they moved to Coleman, but they call it Colbro.
Colbro, yeah. Just
no, it moved.
Colbro.
But I do it.
Well, this is good. This is a good lead in discussion because the next question that I have is, you know, because I know from talking to Mr. Hudson, he would tell us, you know, like that the Sundowner, that was primarily was black. It was African Americans, and you know they had already established that you know this was a black club, and you know, but they wasn't playing, you know, the Jamaican Caribbean music. So look, I'm going to take another break, all right, and then when I come back, I want to start talking about that because that's really what led to the West Indian Social Club being formed. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Mr. Clarke and my guests, Mr. Gordon and Mr. Tinker. We'll be right back.
I'm dreaming of a new Jamaica.
We're seeing significant road work taking place in our country. And while it may be a little bit of an inconvenience, we all will benefit in the end.
Police are here to assist both motorists and pedestrians, so just work with us to keep Jamaica safer.
The National Works Agency is carrying out major infrastructural works across the island. Ferries to Macfield in Westmoreland, the Mandela Highway, Constant Spring Road, and Hagley Park Road. We are sorry for the inconvenience caused. For more information, you may contact us at 1-888-429-5692. We are working to build a new Jamaica.
And we're back with my guests, and we're talking about the journey of Mr. Clarke.
This fellow was Jamaican.
We certainly were talking about before the break the social life, and we mentioned that the Sundowner was the club. So we want to really get into talking now about how we introduce the West Indian and the Jamaican culture into the community. We want to talk about some of the friends that you had, Mr. Hudson, Mr. Parkinson, Reginald Leslie. All of these people became founding members of the West Indian Social Club.
Yeah, because they did have it on Barber Street first, before they moved it to Main Street. It was on Barber Street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you see, you were in a club person, because I know you said you didn't either.
I go, but I never joined the club. I never joined the club. But I go there, I visit. But I never joined. I wasn't a member, I never joined the club. And one thing, I never know that you could work on Sunday. Because I never work on a Sunday yet. On the farm, I go to Michigan, I go to Catholic, I go to Illinois, Sunday I go to Maine, Caribou, it's only one place. I never go to a Catholic, because I never see a Catholic church here, and it was down in Florida, the Kane place. That's the only place. I came here, I live in Granby, I go to Terrorville. I'm the only black, because I never see a white. I never see a black go to a Catholic church in this country. Because right now, St. Benedict Center at 2194 Main Street. Father Lachlan and Father McGrath go around and teach the colored people them and build St. Benedict Center. So I used to go to Terrorville until there been one at Granby. And Sunday now I came to St. Benedict Center, be a usher there after Mass. Yeah. So I never work on a Sunday. Until now, I never work on a Sunday.
So, I'm a little bit curious to find, how did the church reach out to embody the Jamaican or the farm workers? Did the church make it more pleasant for you to be a part of the community? How did the church treat you when you came?
Well, the church, as a Catholic, I know that I'm a Catholic, and so I go to any Catholic church.
That's not the point, though.
Huh?
Did they accept you as a full?
Yes, they accept me.
They didn't show you any racism.
No.
Let me, go ahead.
Some of the fellow asked me if they can go to church with me. I said yes. But there in Granby, you have a lot of Polish and Latvian. And I take them to the church here. And they are going to say, how they come? I said, well, they are not a member, but they are invited. He said, I said, yes, they should. Because they are Polish and Lithuanian. So they are against, not me, but the carrying people there. Yes.
So,
but it didn't trouble me. Then father, the other priest now, he came out to the camp. Nobody ever know my right name. They call me Catholic.
Okay.
And
you all do. It's a little bit hard for them to pronounce.
They never know my right name. And they call me Jitterbug. Because I do a lot of the dancing at Jitterbug. We used to go to Tarrington, we go to this place, we go dance.
Yes.
Colored people, you know, we go. So everybody just know me, Catholic and Jitterbug. So everybody call me Catholic, and they call me Jitterbug.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you, Mr. Hudson told me that the church on Main Street, Christ Church Cathedral, Episcopal Church.
Right.
He said he went to that church. He's an Anglican. And he told me the story that he went into that church, and somebody said to him, "There's a black church up the street," and he ended up. That was Saint
Monica's.
And he ended up going there, and for many years that was his home
Saint
church.
Monica.
Saint Monica's. That was his experience.
It's one thing,
And in fact, I was a member of that church. I became a member of that church.
Saint Monica.
No, Christ Church Cathedral.
Well, when I came here, that's where I went to Christ Church. I became a member of Christ Church in '62. That's where Rennie went. He would not go to St. Monica's.
Right.
I think that's about when I was confirmed.
The upper middle class, West Indian, upper middle class.
And I became a member of the Husher Board. I remember being part of the Finance Committee.
Because a lot of people said, Catholic don't read the Bible. I said, what? He said, no, that's it. Catholic don't read the Bible. Even some denomination come to Jamaica, come to me, I said, what?
Well, you know,
because I read the Bible, and I have everything up here. I read the Bible from Genesis to the second book of Maccabee. You wouldn't find Maccabee in King James Version. You find the rest of the chapter.
Right. You know, Mark, it's interesting.
And
the outcome socially. I mean,
right now, what I know here, no man fooled me.
All right. I wanted. There's some. You know, you've been your life, your experience, your experiences. You know, you've seen all of these times, these things that happen, these life monumental changes. What was your thoughts around Barack Obama being elected the president of the United States? That's what I want. What were your thoughts when Obama was elected? You've seen so much. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, Obama, I like Obama, and Obama is the first black president that I see there. But
Did you ever think there would be a black president in your lifetime?
Yes.
You did?
Yes. Because remember, the White House built by the black. White House built by the black slave.
You're right.
And you must have a black president. The wisest man was on earth is King Solomon.
It was black.
King Solomon, he asked God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. God gave him, and he was the richest man. Because all Queen of Sheba, when he hear of the greatness of and when Queen of Sheba go and prove it, she said the half have never been told. And every year they send the riches to King Solomon. But when King Solomon look at it, he said, all these are vanity. King Solomon served as king for 40 years before he died. 40 years he served before he died. They want to destroy Israel, but they can never destroy Israel because Israel is Jacob. The holiest man ever lived was Methuselah, 969 years. And the second man ever lived, I have it written down here, was 962 years. And the third man ever lived was Noah, which is 950. And the first man be Adam, 930. Yes.
Yes.
And remember, God said to Moses, you will see the promised land and never enter. Who take the people them across to the promised land? You would know.
It's right on, man. Not Joshua.
Joshua.
How many times, you really know the Bible well. How many times have you read it?
Huh?
How many times have you read the Bible?
Well,
Or
I read it all the way through. Once. Take me a year to read from verse to verse, I read it all the way through. And I started it but through my eyes. That's why.
Now, you know, one question I got to ask someone of your years, what is your advice that you offer to young people? And everybody to you is young people. You know, what guidance do you?
I will tell them what the Bible said, but every man to their own order, as Kingston. Some say, no. I said, yes, it's right in the Bible. I read it. And all these men that you said, marrying to men and women marrying to men, the Bible tells you about it. Men leave their wife and cling to men. So what you see going on here is in the Bible. Men leave their wives and cling to men. So it's in the Bible.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I
So,
want to.
Moses died 120. The priest Aaron died 124. Joshua died 110. When Joshua was crossing the river Jordan with the ark of God, the water divided in two and leave the dry land. And he sent his men to collect the stone in the dry bed. It's 2 persons go to heaven without taste death. It's in the Bible. So I know all those things.
But you didn't answer my question.
Yes.
Or did you? Well, I mean, you know, what advice are you offering to young? I know it's
Present generation.
this generation of young people, or
What advice do you offer to your son's son?
Well,
And
in these turbulent times. What do you, for example, what do you think of
tough out
Donald
there,
Trump?
huh?
Donald Trump. What is your impression of the current president of the United States?
Well, I think he's all right. Some a lot say he's not. But I say he's all right.
Okay.
Donald Trump is my man.
He is?
Yes.
Okay.
Every man to their own.
What do you like about him? What do you like about him?
What's me like?
What do you like about him?
Not definite, not anything definitely, but I still like him. I still. A lot of people said, well, he's not this and that. But true, well, every man can say what they like, and every man don't have to agree. You can agree with that one, you cannot agree with that one. But don't tell me, which a lot of people said, oh, Catholic worship Virgin Mary, and I said no. Worship Christ and honor the mother. So Catholic said, I said no, it's not Catholic said, it's the Bible said. As the Bible said, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. And no Catholic said, and the angel. Read your Bible, and the angel did say it when Christ was born. It's not Catholic said.
Well, Mr. Clarke,
yeah.
I've really enjoyed hearing all of this, and I could listen longer, but we got so much time, and we're about
when you go in the church and say, they bow, and so they bow to him, I said no.
So Mark, you don't have to go to church this Sunday.
Yeah.
Because the Bible said.
I think that's your message. That's your message.
You go in the church, you say, you make the sign of the cross. You say Christ on the cross, you say the Virgin Mary. And worship you. You make the sign of the cross. You say, in the Latin, say, in nomine Patris et Filii Spiritus Sanctus. Intro ibio ad altare Dei, Deum Dei tucta. I will go to the altar of God to give joy to my youth. That's the Latin and that's the English. Yes. Well, first, it was all Latin, but now everything changed to English. Yes, everything changed to English.
Wow.
There's a lot of things. Until now, nobody ever seen Moses' grave, and they don't know where Moses is buried. Do you know? I know. And I can tell you, by Nebo's lowly mountain, and this Sir Jordan wave, again in the land of Moab, there lies a lowly grave. For no man know the sepulchre, no man saw it there, but the angel of God upturned aside and laid the dead man, Mount Nebo. That's the mountain.
Okay. Wow. Well,
yes.
So, Mr. Clarke, that's a good note for us to close.
We're ready to wrap up for the Jamaica Diaspora show.
I want to thank my guests today, Mr. Clarke, Mr. Gordon, and Mr. Tinker.
And we'll be back next week with more programming on the Jamaica Diaspora show.